coming back to 2024, one film which we still haven't touched upon is Premalu. Uh,
Premalu.
why do you think that clicked? Because that was again another sleeper hit, just like Manjumal Boys. Nobody expected that to
Absolute sleeper hit.
do well, or and again, young actors and everything. So, uh, what do you think worked in that film for the audiences?
So interestingly, with Premalu, there was a huge film that was coming out called Anve Shippin Kanditham, starring Tovino Thomas, which was the pre-buzz favorite, as you would say. Premalu was a smaller film, directed by a director who had earlier directed another smaller film. Shanaya. What was the name? The name of the film was something Shanaya.
Okay.
Um, so Girish, by the way, was the director, Girish Edi. And slowly, I think the word of mouth picked in for that film, and I happened to watch it in the second week in the theater, in a city like Bombay, right, which is unheard of to keep, so to say, a non-Hindi film for that long in a theater. And I still watched it in the second week, and it was full. I didn't hardly just about got tickets, and
Goat Life was there for 4 weeks at least. I kept seeing
absolutely.
it in the theaters in the list. Yeah.
Absolutely. And one thing I think that worked with Primalu was its honesty. It wasn't
Mm,
trying to be something smarter than what it was. It wasn't that.
mm,
Plus the setting, as I said, of Hyderabad, the songs were, I think, excellent. Of course, the honest performances by the leads Naslin and Mamita, was it? I think Mamita Baiju, right? She was there. I think the humor clicked, the writing clicked. I think probably that was a bigger hit in Andhra
Kerala.
circuit as compared to Kerala also. I think that's
Okay.
why the entire gross of the film was, I think, 136 crores at the end of the
So
day,
in
which
Andhra
was a
circuit,
great.
you're saying the Malayalam language was bigger hit or the dubbed
So
version of Telugu?
So the dubbed Telugu version worked there, and
Okay.
that is the funny thing because I think the people of Hyderabad, they and the other parts of Andhra and Telangana, they lapped it up that this is the film that is so close to our heart, which also means that the audience is receptive to such films. Which is
Yeah.
why I have a problem with the Telugu film industry not trying to experiment with genres. They have the ability, they have done films like Awe. They have done a wonderful film
Sitaraman.
at the start of the year like Hanuman. That was against the norm. It was a superhero film.
Sitaraman worked there
And
as well, right? Which
Sita
was
Ramam
again,
worked as
yeah,
well.
yeah.
Absolutely. So you're not experimenting. That is my problem. My gripe with the Telugu film industry. You're just being formulaic with your films, right?
Hmm.
And that's one of the reasons. Premalu is a big eye opener, by the way, of why the film worked. It was
Yeah.
definitely set in the city of Hyderabad, most definitely set, but it still had to be good with its writing that was there, and it was a nice film. It was at the end of the day a happy film, and the happy
Yeah.
films come as a refreshing change at the time when thrillers, and every other film is a thriller, every other film is an actioner, and every other film has a topic of Pakistan.
Oh my
So
God,
all of
don't
that
even
is
get
there.
me
So
started on that. That's altogether a different topic. Why every second film has violence in it, and you just cannot wrap your head around it. It's a different
absolutely.
conversation for another day. Sayed says
Okay.
Premalu had bigger hype than Anveship in Kanditam. Girish had
I'm sure
already
they'd be
gave
correct.
one blockbuster and one super hit before. Also, Naslin Mamita pairing and Fahad.
I'm sure that would be correct, because this is something that I'm talking from a non-Kerala state kind of a perspective. That's the
Right.
perspective that, from a pan-India perspective, I was saying that the bigger film was Anve Shipin because it had Tovino Thomas, a better known star as compared to folks from Premalu at Naslin, and they were actors, but not quite known to the Hindi belt, is what I meant. But yeah. I am
Like
sure it would have a better hype there.
I think like like he's saying it had bigger hype. Probably he's talking from the Kerala perspective. Like, but like
Yeah, you'd be
being
right. Yeah.
outsider. Yeah, and being outsider for us, like even somebody, both of us who watch a lot of Malayalam cinema, for us,
Mm.
I don't think like I, I don't want to speak for you, but for me, Premalu it didn't have the same hype which uh, uh, at the end of the day the film it ended up becoming, right? That's why we
Yeah,
were
I did
surprised.
have. Yeah, in fact, I remember in one of our WhatsApp groups that was there, I think there was some stray comment that came that, "Are you going to watch Premalu?" And no, there was no hype. And this is not a Kerala WhatsApp group that was there. It was a normal group, and cinephile group, you can say. But
Hmm.
yeah, and that's when even I had that time, I remember saying that no, I probably won't watch Premalu in a theater. I would probably watch it when it comes out on OTT. But then eventually, the buzz that was there in that 1 week prompted me to
Hmm.
go in the second week and watch the film in a theater, and I'm glad I did. Absolutely loved it. It was um, so hilarious and refreshingly different that I had a gala time. And I also had a comment from one of my friends back from Kerala saying that this may not exactly work with the English subtitles that are there, because much of the humor might be lost
Hmm.
with the loss in translation that is there with the Malayalam to English subtitles that are there. But it worked for me. I absolutely loved the film, and I think when the content and the core emotions are on point now, that show that even the writing was on point, that it did translate to beyond the language also. Even
Yeah, and
especially true when it comes to comedy. And when it comes to comedy, I think that is when the film gets a bit restricted, you can say, for people who don't understand the local language. But if it still works, then I think it's the credit to the writer. So yeah.
I got a similar comment on Avesham as well on my channel. Somebody said that I pity you that you don't understand Malayalam because the humor in Avesham for Malayalam speaking audiences it hits on a different level than the
It
subtitle reading
pity us
audience.
also. We pity each other. There was this one day I was just sitting and saying that I just wish I knew Malayalam language. I mean, there was so much more to to explore, to
Yeah.
understand. That it would really help our channels. But unfortunately, I've tried to learn, and I can now pick up a few words here and there. Also, I'm sure you can too. But I don't think it's enough to to converse or to actually read or to understand the entire phrases that are there. So